Good day, Your Excellency. I'm Bogdan Z, President of the Assembly of the United Nations Club of the Faculty of Law in Kragujevcu, and I'm very glad to meet you today.
Yeah, thanks very much. Pleasure to meet you also.
Thank you. How are you?
Okay.
In the beginning, I would like to thank you on behalf of the representatives of the Club of the United Nations, as well as on my own behalf, for accepting to take part in this project entitled Get to Know the Law and Culture of Other Countries. Since I had the opportunity and honor to talk to you, on behalf of the representatives of the United Nations Club of the Faculty of Law in Kragujevcu, I would use this opportunity to announce many more projects of this type and many more other projects for educational purposes. Also, we sincerely hope that the cooperation between the Embassy of Finland and the United Nations Club of the Faculty of Law in Kragujevcu will continue after the successful realization of this project. The current situation caused by COVID-19 pandemic has made us organize this interview through the Zoom platform, but we are sure that the students of the Faculty of Law in Kragujevcu will have the opportunity to meet you live and to talk to you on our faculty. Your Excellency, I don't want to take you much time, so here are the questions and topics that the students and us found interesting. So, do you agree that we start with the interview?
Yes, thanks. Yeah, it's fine. And really, as you mentioned, I would be very happy to join a discussion also in person in Kragujevcu when the situation allows it.
Thank you for the first question or topic that the students found interesting is, can you compare the educational systems of the two countries, and can you tell us a bit more about the way lawyers are educated in your country?
I think in general, first of all, the education systems are quite similar, especially on the tertiary level. Due to the Bologna process. And for example, the bachelor degree consists of 180 credits and master degree of 120 ECTS, all these credits. I think Faculty of Law may be even more popular in Finland than here in Serbia, because only 5% of the applicants are accepted yearly in Finland. So the competition is really fierce for the places. Legal education lasts for 5 years. Although in practice, many students study for a longer time because of flexible studies, but also because many work beside their studies. And legal education is offered in 4 universities in Finland: University of Helsinki, University of Turku, University of Eastern Finland in Joensuu, and University of Lapland in Rovaniemi. And all these universities are autonomous and can decide about their course catalogs. Bachelor studies in Finland are generally only in Finnish, but master courses can be also in English. And then, of course, even during studies in Finnish, English language courses are offered, and international student exchange is encouraged.
Will you tell us a bit more about the judicial system of your country and the position lawyers and judges have in your country?
Well, first of all, according to the Finnish constitution, judicial power belongs to independent courts of law. And at the top of the system are Supreme Court and the Supreme Administrative Court. Furthermore, Finnish court system can be divided into 2 or 3 categories. First, there are general courts that deal with civil and criminal matters. The decision of a district court can normally be appealed in the Court of Appeal. And then decisions of the courts of appeal can be appealed in the Supreme Court. The second category are the administrative courts that mainly deal with disputes between a public authority and private individuals. And these decisions, or the decisions of the administrative courts, can be appealed in Supreme Administrative Court. Besides these main strands, there are also special courts such as the Market Court, Labor Court, Insurance Court, and the High Court of Impeachment. Then professional judges are appointed by the President of Finland on the proposal of a judge selection committee. Appointments for judges are permanent. When selecting experience in other court functions qualifies for the task. Finland also employs lay judges in serious cases in district courts. They are not legally trained or part of the legal profession, and always a professional judge serves as the chairman of the panel of judges in these cases. I think position of the lawyers and judges is fairly high in the society, as is demonstrated by their median salaries, which for the lawyers in Finland is about 5,500 euros, which is higher than the median average salary or median salary in Finland generally. And for the judge, the median salary is about 6,000 euros.
Is there a possibility for cooperation between the institution of the two countries which relate to the possibility of student exchange or special training of certain categories, such as professors exchange between the two countries?
Well, what I'm aware of is that student exchange already takes place between the University of Helsinki and University of Belgrade, and also between University of Eastern Finland and University of Novi Sad. Also, through Serbia's accession to the Erasmus Plus program, there are new possibilities for teaching mobility between Finland and Serbia.
Can you tell us a bit more about the legal tradition of your country and what legal system it relied on in its development?
Finnish laws and legal traditions are influenced by Swedish law, which is based on Scandinavian and German legal families, ancient ones, I mean. Swedish law was in force even from 1809 onwards, when Finland was accessed to the Russian Empire, becoming an autonomous Grand Duchy within it until 1917, when Finland became independent. Based on civil law tradition, the Finnish law consists mostly of statutory law enacted by the Parliament of Finland. Therefore, the prime source of Finnish legislation is the written law. Finland's constitution takes supreme authority and sets out the procedures and guidelines for the application of legislation. And as in other civil law systems, judicial decisions are generally not authoritative except for the cases in question. Supreme Court decisions are final and used also for other similar cases. However, they are not actually binding as a law either. Being a member of the EU, Finland enacts many European Union laws and implements the European Union directives in its national legislation. EU law is actually directly applicable and takes precedence over national legislation. The present version of Finland's constitution came into effect in the year 2000. It specifies the primary rules, values, and principles of the Finnish government and democracy. Furthermore, it details the relationship between the citizen and the government, and the constitution emphasizes parliamentary features of Finnish political system, and of course also complies with the European Union membership of Finland. In fact, we do not have a constitutional court, but constitutionality of new laws being enacted is checked by the Constitutional Committee of the Parliament.
Could you compare the position and status of young people in our two countries?
I think they are quite similar in many ways. I think young people in both countries enjoy many of the benefits of modern societies. And unfortunately, they also share many of the problems, such as finding especially a permanent employment, as that has become more and more difficult in recent years. So many similarities, but also maybe something different.
Are you satisfied with the relations between your country and the Republic of Serbia?
Well, yes, because the relations really are very good and there are no problems between our countries. But of course, there's always work to do and things to be improved. And I think relations could be closer still and more varied and more deep. And I see much potential, for example, in the economic cooperation and people-to-people contacts, such as tourism.
In which areas of cooperation do the two countries achieve the greatest cooperation, and where is there space for progress?
Well, Finland is perhaps the best known here in Serbia for our education system. And I hope that in the future there will be more cooperation also in this sector. On the other hand, perhaps what is not so well known is that we have had very close cooperation, for example, in the innovation sector as well, where Serbian startup companies have attended the Slush event in Finland, which is a big international event designed to help startups to meet investors. And I really hope that also in sectors like 5G, smart cities, energy efficiency and environment, there would be more cooperation.
Do you expect changes in relations at the global level, I mean globally in the world, after overcoming the COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, yes, but it may be too early to say what kind. But I think that the mega trends in the world, such as climate warming and environmental degradation, will continue, and that will affect, for example, living conditions of millions of people. And also, unfortunately, it seems that the great power competition between the US and China looks set to continue, affecting also other countries like us in Europe. And I think really, if national politics and international cooperation combined with technological development and economic cooperation cannot provide adequate solutions to these issues, we will unfortunately see deepening rifts and increase in migration, for example, among other things. So I think it's really up to all of us, and especially, of course, our leaders to find better ways to deal with these issues.
Are there defined areas of law in which it is planned to form teams of scientists from our two countries?
I looked into this, and unfortunately, I'm not aware of anything like that at the present time.
Can you compare the degree of respect for personal rights in the two countries?
Well, I think personal rights are at a high level in both countries, but on the other hand, no country is perfect either. We all have our deficiencies as well. Finland and the other Nordic countries usually rank very well in the various international comparisons or indexes, measuring, for example, democracy, functioning of the press and public institutions, quality of life, rule of law, corruption, consumer rights, and so on. But I really think that the rights are also high level here in Serbia, but as in Finland, there is always room to improve. And here I think the EU accession process is a key tool in reforming the society so that it would converge towards the EU standards also in this respect.
Your Excellency, thank you for taking part in this project on behalf of the United Nations Club of the Faculty of Law in Kragujevcu, as well as on my own behalf. Would you like to tell something before we end this interview to our students?
Well, thank you from my behalf also for this possibility to express my opinions and how things are between Finland and Serbia. I think these are always valuable opportunities to discuss with people and really, as my goal here in Serbia is to increase contacts between our two countries and understanding between the countries. I really value this sort of opportunities for discussion. So as I said at the beginning, I would be very happy to come to the university when the situation allows it.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We are looking forward to our future educational cooperation.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, bye-bye.
Goodbye.